Hello. You know, I'm like feeling a bit low energy today, and it always takes a few seconds for things to kick in. So let me compose myself, get into state, and then go, hello, welcome to the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. That's what normally happens. Like we're in the green room, and I'm like, okay, right, guys, here we go, let's do it. And I suddenly leap into action. It took me a second there. Took me a second. So yeah, welcome to Green Umbrella Live Lunch, 12 o'clock on a Thursday. Here we are again. How are you doing, Kim?
Same. I'm a bit. Do you know what it is? I think mentally I'm gearing up for next week.
Next week is going to be a big one. We've got
Yeah.
a ton of stuff happening. So yeah, it does feel like this weekend I've kind of cleared quite a few things so that I can have a real low energy, restful weekend. So
I've done the opposite, and I've now booked myself in for 2 events. So
no, why would you do that?
Because I'm in Egypt.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of a rookie mistake. So why is next week so busy? We're going to be heading off to the Recruitment Agency Expo. So Monday, we're packing the car up. Road trip, you and me, down to Excel. Going to get all set up there, ready for Tuesday and Wednesday, 2 full days, hanging out with recruiters, lots of conversation around what's happening in the job market, UK job market, that kind of thing. It's going to be really good. We're going to have a stand there. George will be on show, all that kind of stuff. You're coming as well, aren't you, Kim?
I am absolutely buzzing. I cannot wait. Like I was just speaking to Nicole about this earlier, and I was like, we're just going to have, because we always have so much fun, because I think we love what we do.
We love what we do, and we've got a really good network there, and it's kind of it's a meeting place, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah,
and clients, like current clients, older clients, people who've been working, like have come to our trainings and stuff like that. And then just like our, the friends and family in the recruitment world as well. So it'll be.
Well, this is my first one in London, so I'm quite like, I don't know, what's the difference? Is there any difference? Is it just bigger?
It's a bit big. So there's the Recruitment Agency Expo. There's 2. There's one in October at the NEC. Obviously, you've done that one before. The one in London, it is a slightly bigger show.
Yeah.
But not hugely bigger, but it is a slightly bigger show. And definitely there are more people come to the London show just because it's so much more accessible, right?
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's going to be really good. Like
day
one.
I cannot wait. I'm like, when you go on holiday and you're getting like that little excitement feeling. This is quite sad. Obviously, don't get out enough. But that's how I feel. Like I can't wait to pack my bag. I can't wait for the road trip because we always have the banging tunes on, and I just know that we're just going to have a blast. And now that I've met some of the people from the Birmingham one, it'll be nice because I was going into it fresh last time, so I was like, but since then I've built sort of relationships on LinkedIn with people that I met, so it'd be good to go back and not be as like,
rabbit in the lights. No, it'd be really good. Be really good. And I'm sure you'll be doing a another merch swipe.
Well, okay, so I did get a little bit overexcited last time. I think we all know that, to the point that it was only the weekends that I had the bag of merch, what's been left of it, and I was like, it's got to go. So I'm ready for a whole fresh set.
Yeah,
but I am gonna relax myself a little bit. I'm just gonna, play it cool.
This is the thing. When you think about going to events like this, you're going to have a stand or that sort of stuff. You think like you want something on the stand, a bit of a hook. For a lot of people, that is the merch, and like people invest heavily at this stuff. Like they really, really do. I think if you're going to invest heavily in merch, it has to be something that is really what I describe as sticky. It's something that people are not going to forget about. It's something that they're going to use all the time, or it's always going to be there on the desk.
Yeah.
So that it's always visible. When you do things like sweets and it's like they're consumed and then they disappear.
Gone.
Yeah, and then it's like it's done. For me, stuff like that isn't a good investment. I much prefer things like, really like quality notepads with like nice paper.
Don't be giving me a notepad that's just sheets of paper with a glue bit at the top. Like, no, I want hardback. I want wire bound. I want a soft touch cover. I'm so excited.
elastic so the pages don't open in your bag. That's an important one for me. But
Yeah.
also things like the hot cups, water. To be honest, I prefer water bottles to hot cups
Okay.
because it is like you have to, like, people sort of have to remember to grab their hot cup.
Yeah.
Whereas things like water bottles, people
It's just
tend to
there,
have,
isn't it?
yeah, they're using them more consistently throughout the day,
Yeah.
if they are using them. So like that's something for me as well. And you know, and people would take the water bottles for their kids to use, but then they're filling them up every morning or every
Yeah.
night for the kids to take to school. So again, it's repetitive usage. So
Yeah. My Ollie is currently taking a Recruso water bottle to school, I think.
yeah,
But, you know, I'm just spreading the message. He's probably thinking, what are you doing, Mum? This is so embarrassing. But I'm like, shh, we've got 25 water bottles here. You'll use one of those.
that's it. Absolutely. Yeah. Forget the well, I was going to say Paw Patrol, but Ollie's a bit old for that now. But you
But
know,
it's
like the
Pokemon.
branded water bottles, we don't want those. We don't need
No.
those. We much
Don't
rather have
know.
something like
Although
library.
I am excited to get back to the Hive stand because you know
Yeah.
my love affair with the Hive cup, and I
Yeah.
sadly had to discard the Hive cup the other day because I've killed it. Basically, it was my little go-to. So yeah, and they always have really nice notepads.
Definitely. So
So
Paul's just asked, have you got your 5 bags for life to bring all the merch back in? But this is the other thing as
I've got
well.
suitcases full.
Yeah, but the thing again, from a merch perspective, bags for life.
Yeah,
You know,
but the tote bags. Now I've got to say, me and Nicole were having this conversation. The amount of tote bags you get, and it's like buckaroo by the end of the day. You just have got all of these bloody bags. So yeah, if we could have some maybe branded suitcases, because I'm going on holiday later. I know it's quite late in the day to do a merch run. But I have seen that there are hoodies. People are doing hoodies. So I don't know what I've got to do to win one of them, but I'm there for it.
yeah, you do like a hoodie.
I love a hoodie. And then a giveaway as well, because I won the giveaway last time, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You did. So yeah, it's things like, and this is the thing. So we talk about merch, but it's about having a hook. So
Yeah.
we don't have merch, but we have an inflatable giraffe on our stand, which makes people go like stop and ask the question, and they want to have their photo taken with the giraffe and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it is you've got to think like, what's the hook on your stand?
Yeah, because we spoke about merch, didn't we? And we were like, if everyone's in the same mindset as I was in Birmingham, it was like supermarket sweep. You know what I mean? Whereas with the George thing, people do come there and you can see them looking over going, why is there a giraffe? Why is it marketed? And we bring them in.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. There's a story behind the giraffe and all that kind of stuff. So it's like that's why it works really well.
Yeah.
And again, so now we've got people are coming to talk to us rather than coming to ask us for the notepads, the hot cup, whatever it might be. And this thing, especially with food related things, it's like they're not interested in the conversation. They want their jelly beans or their cocktail, their coffee, their like
the waffle. Do you remember the waffle?
Waffles, yeah. So it is like I said, you really got to think about how you invest in this stuff and what's really going to work. But no, I'm looking forward to it. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday. Obviously, we'll be back after that. And now I've got another event Thursday, Friday now as well. So it is, it's going to be full on. Okie dokie. So let's talk about social media news. What have you? I've got a few things actually this week. So, which I think I'll probably just like take.
Well, actually, I would actually like to speak a bit more about Rec Expo because I do feel like there's someone quite prestigious taking to the stage. Not Karen Brady, but you on the Amplify stage at 1:30 on day 2.
Yeah. So just after lunch on day 2, okay, so what I'm talking about is something that I've presented this a couple of times in the past, like within closed membership groups, that kind of thing. It's an interesting one. I'll either have a room full,
Okay,
or just a handful because people won't get it. So
Right.
basically, I'm talking about like you've got your marketing strategy in place, maybe you've got a marketing team in place. Can they answer these questions? And
Okay.
it's all questions around basically, is there a strategy? Does it work?
Mm-hmm.
And what's required to make it work or improve the way that it's working? So it's some quite hard hitting questions that I'm going to be saying, like, do you know the answer to these questions? This is why you need it. These are the reasons why quite often people don't know the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you need to be doing with the information. Because again, it's like data. People look at data and they go, oh, brilliant. This post is like, this has been my most popular post. Whenever I do these types of posts, they work really well. Whenever I post on a Thursday, it works really well.
Yeah.
But then they don't put anything in place after that to use that information.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like, okay, can you answer the question? No. Right, this is how you answer it. Yes. Are you doing this with that answer?
Yeah. Because I've got, just because you have a marketing team, it doesn't mean, this might be quite controversial, that they actually know what they're talking about. And the reason I say that is because I've got a friend who is on LinkedIn. I'm not going to out them, obviously. And I had a quick look at like the company socials and stuff, and I was like, who on earth is doing your social media? And she was like, oh, that's the marketing department. I was like, really? Because it was just,
But this
I
is
don't know if you've seen my LinkedIn post this morning, but I had a little bit of a rant.
this
Just
is
when posting job ads or just posting job ads, stop what you are doing. And this is the rant I have. Because, yeah, I can't.
the thing is, there are, in a world of AI and automation, there are tools now that help recruiters specifically to like pull their job listing from their site and push it out on social media and automate that process.
Yeah.
And the tools can.
Am I
So
stuck? Oh, there you're. Sorry, I don't know if I was stuck there or you were stuck, but I was just sat here going.
Yeah, I was like, and I carried on talking, hoping people could listen then. But yeah, so like this took, I say you end up with marketing departments. It's like we work with SMEs, okay. But to be honest, I've worked with some PLCs, some big businesses that have got a marketing department with like 2-3 people in.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel this pain goes across the board. You've got a marketing department, which when you think about what they need to achieve and how many people are in the department, it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Okay? So you've now got this individual, and they're like, right, I'm going to use this tool to automate this part of the marketing process. Box ticked. I'm going to focus over here. And quite often, especially in those businesses where you've got a marketing department of 1 or 2 people, they're then getting pulled into things that are maybe their brand management rather than actual marketing.
Yeah.
So someone's saying like, so like my slides for Rec Expo, like Debs is working on those at the minute. Like I've written the content, but she's got them at the minute to do the design elements, make sure it's on brand or like the right style of imagery, that everything's aligned properly, that kind of thing. That's a brand management job.
Yeah.
That's not like, if we had a marketing department, that's not a job for the marketing department.
Yeah.
To write presentations, so it is, in my view anyway, so it is, there's this kind of push and pull, and sometimes you've got a really good marketer who does know what they're doing, but they're just not being given the resources they need in order to make it happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So and sneak peek, that is one of the questions that business owners should be asking their marketers, like, what do you need from me? That is literally like one of the slides literally just says that. What do you need from me? Because they'll have a wish list of things that will require budget, but it'll also be things like, I really need you to do 1 video with me a week.
Yeah.
I really need you to spend some time with me where I can just ask you a bunch of questions to give me what I need to produce that content.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm quite, if you couldn't tell, I'm quite passionate about this topic.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, come on then. Social media news. What we got?
So I saw something that TikTok are going to be releasing. Is it? I can't remember what it was called. I think that photo app. I was going to say TikTok, but yeah. I mean, why not?
Richard, oh my God, like that would actually make sense. Pitch it to them.
Oh my God, I'm going to be a millionaire. Yeah, so basically it's going to be an Instagram style app for your photos, and any photos, because at the moment you can do like a carousel, can't you, on TikTok of still images, they're going to be automatically dragged over to TikTok, which is what I'm now going to call it forever.
So in some regions of the world where, for example, Instagram isn't a thing, I think it will work. However, for us here in the UK, I don't think it will take off because we've got,
I feel like it's a Threads.
Yeah,
it's another. Let's bring something out and then Tikstagram. No, Emma, TikTok. I mean, I quite like it. But yeah, I think it's
TikTok is more on brand. Definitely.
Yeah, I feel people will download it, give it a try, and then go, "Oh, well, we've already got that over here."
Well, there have been other sort of photo apps, so things like Lemonade, which just it launched. People were like, "Oh, there's this alternative."
Oh, I really liked it to begin with,
and it just kind of like you hear people refer to it in articles saying that this thing's probably not going to work, but I never hear anything about Lemonade in its own right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it will take off over here.
Not with a silly name like, what's it going to be called?
It is something like.
Bear with me because I've still got it up. It is going to be called.
Not very inspiring name.
Oh, TikTok photos.
Yeah, TikTok photos.
Oh, I need to get in touch with these guys because I think they're missing a trick here. TikTok. Can we get that trademarked? Can we do that whilst I'm on? Because I feel like I've hit.
Buy the domain quick. Buy the domain quick. Yeah. So it's. Yeah, I don't know. And okay, so in the UK, I just feel like it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
If we think about the US audience, well, at the minute they're trying to bloody ban TikTok anyway.
They might be selling it off. Actually, that's another thing that I've seen
in the last couple of days. I haven't read enough on that yet. It's interesting what's going to happen in the US. I was actually on delivering a webinar last night for one of our partners, and I had a question in the chat, which was, what did I think was going to happen? And honestly, I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know lots about US politics. Okay, just putting that out there. I really don't know a lot. My feeling is, if it can get through the legal process, the political legal process over there quickly enough, there's a good chance it will get banned. However, if the way it goes through overlaps with the US election and Trump gets in again, I don't think it will get banned.
No, not if Trump's there, because he's very much.
He's supportive of it, and not because he's supporting the Chinese or or that kind of thing. The concerns are still there in terms of the access to data for the Chinese government and all that kind of thing. But he's like, if we take that out of the market, then Meta has control. So keeping TikTok in reduces Meta's control essentially. So, and obviously, like the way I'm describing it here is so like base level in comparison with like the full picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I'm like, I don't know which way it will go, and the timing of it, I think, is going to be probably, from what I'm reading, the timing of it, I feel, is going to be more important than the actual nuts and bolts of the case.
Yeah. Just out of interest, whilst we are talking politics, who's the US president currently?
Biden.
Oh, well done! Sorry, I don't know why I sound surprised. It's just you live in a marketing bubble. Like, you don't watch TV. You don't watch the news. You don't buy the newspaper. You don't read online newspapers. So how do you know what's going on in the world unless it's Mark Zuckerberg? So I'm proud of you.
That's something. So I do, because it's what's in social media feeds.
Yeah, true.
So and like, obviously, reading the stuff around TikTok and the political angle on that, and the government concern.
Yeah.
I mean, if that wasn't the case, because we also know, coupled with all of that, I'm also really bad with names. So maybe ask me again in 6 months' time when there's
Donald
not.
Biden.
Yeah, maybe. Cool. Yeah, you have. Because in my head, my subconscious was like making things conscious around, like, hold on, who's the Prime Minister? Oh yeah, it's my mate Rishi. I was like, what's you going to ask? This is why I don't do pub quizzes, because like, I have all the information, but when it comes to like bringing that information forward, my brain goes into panic mode.
We should do a pub quiz.
This goes blank. No, I'm really not good at pub quizzes.
No, I know, but I just think it would be really funny.
No, I get really bored and frustrated, and I'm not fun to be around. I mean, that is just
the quiz
anyway. I got in there first. Okay, cool. All right. So, anything else TikTok related?
TikTok. Well, I can read off this this article. It says TikTok is gearing up for a legal battle in the US, which we know, after the House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed a new bill that would force a sell-off of the Chinese-owned app due to national security concerns. And I think it was voted. It said today, so that was yesterday. The House voted 352 to 65 in favour of the bill. It's quite big, isn't it? Which will now move to Senate for final vote. Oh, and yeah, like you say, Biden has said he's signing it. If it gets to it, he's signing it.
Yeah, Biden said he'll sign it. And it's like, a lot of it's to do with the whole like Democrat versus Republican viewpoints and that sort of stuff as well. Like, if you're interested in this story, there is so much stuff to read around it. It's really interesting. And if you're interested in American politics, like what's happening with this, I think is quite interesting as well. So yeah. Okay, so I have seen something else around TikTok.
Go on.
Obviously, the story has been that TikTok's grown massively. It's really popular. Yada yada yada. Everyone should jump onto TikTok. And what happens is, when there's a new social media platform, when it starts, and we've had this conversation before, and when TikTok was first really grabbing that audience back in sort of 2020, 2021, we talked about this. New social media platforms, they start off, basically there's no monetization and the algorithms are pretty wide open.
Yeah.
The audiences are smaller, and therefore getting engagement is easier, because there's not so many people's feeds to populate for the app. And because the algorithm is sort of wider open, it's easier to get seen. So this is when there is a new platform out there, that you've got this benefit of first mover advantage jumping on there. Well, some data's come out, and this was it's about a week ago this came out. Basically, the engagement that brands are seeing on TikTok are about half of what they were a year ago. And it is, when you think about, like, we've seen shifts in the algorithm, we have seen more enhancements in terms of their advertising offering. So we're now seeing TikTok move into that age of its maturity, essentially, where it's actually going to, it's just going to get tougher and tougher for brands to be seen, which is why personal branding on TikTok, that is going to be the way to go. When you look at some of the most successful accounts on TikTok, it's you're following people, you're not following brands.
Yeah,
And it is, as a
100%.
video app, if you think about what you're looking at,
Mm-hmm.
it really is had taken that personal brand approach. I think it is, if you've been trying to take TikTok forward as a brand, now's probably the opportunity for you to make that switch, make it more personal brand centric, because
Mm-hmm.
from here on in, it's just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher for brands. I'm still expecting us to move to a point where we have, like a TikTok personal account and a TikTok business account.
Yeah.
With different settings, different insights, analytics, that kind of thing. Because, obviously Facebook works that way with profiles and pages.
Yep.
Instagram works that way with your business accounts, your creator accounts. So I'm still expecting that we will eventually see that happen over on TikTok as well. But it is just this engagement thing now, like I said, to see the stats, and it's like literally half of what it was a year ago is just crazy. It's like it's just dropped so quickly. So engagement, it's like 2.69, 2.65%, something like that.
And
In
that's the
terms
only
of,
thing you bloody see on TikTok is people selling toilet rolls.
again, that's you.
But I've never bought the toilet rolls.
Okay, so you buy products from TikTok.
Not for a very, very long time. I do think, what was the last thing I bought? It might have been the shower head. And I'll be honest with you, that didn't last very long. And it actually broke my shower in the process. So I wouldn't recommend that one. So that's kind of killed.
You have a history of making purchases on there, so it's going to show you more things like that. I said I very rarely see products in my TikTok feed. The content that I'm seeing is more, so it's marketing related, like how to produce, like people doing video production services, like creating shorts for you essentially, or courses around shorts, that kind of thing. So I see a lot of that in my feed, a lot of content around how to produce content.
Yeah.
That tends to be what I'm served. The other thing I'm seeing a lot is like, those videos where it's like social experiment.
Yes. What, the ones where they go, oh, excuse me, I really need $1 to get some lunch, blah, blah, blah. And then whoever gives them the $1 then gets like $2,000 back. Where are these people, please? Because I'll happily give you $1 if I had one to get a nice return. So
maybe you need to emigrate, move to the US. I can see it on the visa application now. Reason for.
I wouldn't be allowed in, Emma. I think they're very strict these days. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And I'll tell you why. There's probably.
Emma said TikTok feels like watching a teleshopping channel.
100%. I just figured out the reason why I think that my TikTok is filled with toilet roll and Prime. I've just got into the shop to see when I last ordered, and I've currently got in my basket toilet roll and Prime. So, and I don't even know when I put those things in.
That is going to be a big part of it. Yeah, retargeting there.
Great.
Are you removing those from your basket right now whilst we're live on air? Amazing.
No. I'm just looking to see what else is the shower head and the vegetable chopper.
Cool. Okay, so like that is, so if you're using TikTok and you feel like your engagement has taken a nosedive and you'll think like, what can I do to get it back? It's probably not you. It's just TikTok. So like engagement is there's a hit on engagement everywhere because there are, the usership has grown so much as well. There's more competition in terms of what goes into people's feeds, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of things coming at this, and it is reducing everyone's engagement. But like I say, brands especially, like they're losing about 50% in terms of the engagement in comparison with 12 months ago.
That's mad.
So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky times. Cool. Okay, I think that's everything. Like, yeah, that's everything I've got TikTok wise. Just looking at my notes here. You mentioned Instagram.
Did I?
Yeah. Did
Did I?
you?
No.
Oh, well, no, we mentioned it in terms of that. We did mention it, but not talking about it. We mentioned it in terms of why would
Oh, but I have just found an Instagram one.
it spins?
No, but you can tell me about that one afterwards.
Go on, go for it.
Soon, you may be able to send files in your DMs on Instagram.
I saw that. I was like, yeah, I don't need to do that. I can do that on WhatsApp already. Thanks.
Well, yeah, I know, but I just got excited by the pretty colours, if I'm honest. But I mean, what would you send on Instagram as a file?
Okay, so if you
Oh, it
were,
could be like a personal trainer type meal plan thing.
yeah, it could be download. It could be, so what will happen is that some of the DM strategy tools,
Mm.
if that does roll out, because I think it's in testing, isn't it? They're not actually, they're just testing it.
Experimenting with a new option. Yeah.
So if it does happen, that will then get rolled out so that some of those tools will be able to send those for you.
Yeah.
It'll take a bit of time for that to happen. But if, when you sometimes see posts where it's like, oh, comment, use the word penguin.
Oh, yes, recipe.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically the software looks for that in the comments.
Yeah.
And then DMs with
whatever it is.
It's automated direct messages.
I always wondered how they did that.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of tools you can use to do that. Like things like ManyChat will do it. So yeah, potentially, if it does roll out and those tools then become able to send those files for you, it's no different to any lead generation strategy where you'd normally have an email nurture sequence after it. It's just it would all happen through your Instagram DMs.
Wow. Like it. I think it's pointless, but yeah, it's another way for lead gen, isn't it? So, because I know with the PT stuff that I do, it is the lead gen is predominantly. Am I boring you, Christina?
No,
you had a little bit of a silent yawn then, didn't you, love? I'm going to call you out for it because the nostrils went. Where was I? Yeah, she uses. I'm so sorry. She uses Instagram as the lead gen, so it is to have something like that she could use as like an ebook or a giveaway, something like that. I think is quite good. I like it. But what is spins, please?
Okay, so it is they're working on this, but I quite like it. I quite like it.
Ooh, go on.
So, you know how you might see a reel, and you think it's really clever, but you wish you could you'd put different music on and change up the text, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so a bit like some of the meme sites. Do you remember there was the meme of what's his name from Game of Thrones?
No idea.
Oh, what's the name of the actor? I can't even think of the name of the actor. Sean. Someone help me out here in the comments.
Game of Thrones, anyone? Anyone for Game of Thrones?
Anyway,
oh, what this guy?
Not him, but there was one of him as well. Okay.
Oh, the Jon Snow stuff.
Yeah, right. So if we think about that, Sean Bean. Thank you, Paul. Sean Bean.
Right, good old Paul.
Okay, so there was the image, and then you'd see those different versions of it because in the app people would change the text.
Yeah.
They just tweak the meme to make it work for their purpose. Essentially, spins will allow us to do the same with reels. So you'd be able to take the reel, change the text on it, change the music on it. The video would stay the same though. And
this one.
That's it, yes.
One does not simply. Yeah, got it. I'm with you.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
I really like it. So of course, if let's say you've recorded, you've got a reel that you've put together, and it's you doing whatever. Okay. But then I see it, like, oh, I really like that. I'm going to check my audience, but actually, I want to put my spin on it. So I'm going to change the text. Maybe you've used, I don't know, Dolly Parton for your music, working 9 to 5, and I want to change it up to like, I'm a giant or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So you will be able to make these creative changes. I really like it, and I think from a content creation perspective, in the way that we saw the trend with memes, with people updating that, this stuff, people taking a clip from this where, you catch me yawning, whatever it might be, like a little bit of silliness, and adding their own caption, like doing their own thing. All of a sudden, it's like now we are with our branding in front of all of their audiences as well. So, like I said, the visual video won't change. You're not updating that, but the music and the captions.
So I think we could use that for what was the blunder that Nicole made, and she just couldn't say it right. What was it?
Oh, damn.
Oh, what was it? She just couldn't get it right. I'm gonna have to. But
it's a ChatGPT, wasn't it?
That was it. ChatGPT element. She just couldn't. Yeah. Do you know what? We have so many of those moments. I think this could be great for us.
Do you know, one thing I really regret is the fact that we never, like right from the get-go, we've never caught those moments that are the laughing uncontrollably, the chat PGT moments, the when someone said that, the double entendres, like all that kind of thing. Because we would have a wicked set of videos there.
I mean, I'm happy to go through and... No, I'm not. No.
There's a lot of episodes now to... almost 200 hours of content to go through. I think you'd be all right. Yeah, GU bloopers, exactly, Emma. So yeah, it's
so the 200th episode then will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 25th of April.
Let me just check my calendar.
Oh, you ain't gonna be here, are you?
25th of April. Well, I'll have to be. I'm like, can't miss that one, can I? March 20. No, I'm good for it. As far as
amazing.
I know.
Okay.
25th of April.
1, 2.
I'm working on a couple of guests for it.
Okay.
Some some interesting people.
Wonder if we could get Karen Brady next week and say, Kazza, do you fancy doing live lunch?
I am.
Okay,
the people I'm talking to, I'm more excited about.
Oh, okay, good.
So yeah, Emma's just said, "Come on, guys, 200 episodes, and you still won't have had me on."
I'll let you come on when you've done the windowsills. Private joke.
Cool. Okay. Right. So that's Instagram. What else have we got? Okay. So Google announced a.
You're going to say what I was going to say. Go on.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 Google related things.
Oh.
So I think I know which one. Is yours about Google My Business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. You do that one then.
Okay. So Google My Business, you will now be able to link your social accounts to that. So when you put a new post up, it will then show on your Google My Business, which I'm not so sure from a company page. I guess it is from the company page, but when you're trying to have those, because we know it's 80-20, like some of the stuff, is that going to be great for your Google My Business?
Okay, so already when you fill in Google My Business, you've got options to add your social media links there. Okay, already. So you do that. And then what's going to happen is that on that Google My Business listing, it's going to automatically pull through your most recent posts. So if you are working on, if you've got a good content strategy, it's not going to be an issue, because of the like 3 posts that people can see, yeah, you might have some fun, some of the fun, quirky, engagement driving stuff, but you will still have business content there as well. So it should be absolutely fine, and it would be on brand anyway in terms of the soul of your business, the story, the tone you want to put out there. So it really shouldn't be an issue. So like I said, that's going to get pulled through automatically.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it, I thought, well, if people have that concern, they can just not link up their Instagram account.
Yeah.
However, if you don't add it, Google may potentially identify the account and pull it through anyway. So it's better that you add it to make sure that the right accounts are selected.
How is that?
Well, if you think for most people, they would have their URL on their profile, or their profile would be in the same name as the company, that kind of thing.
Oh, I know how they do it, but how is it okay that you don't want it, but they're going to make it do it anyway? That's my angle.
Yeah, it's tricky. So it's better that you complete the information so the account you want to use is being used. That the account you're controlling from a business perspective is the one being used. So yeah, there's that. Like I said, it will pull through those sort of the social media posts, the most recent ones. So again, when you're thinking about planning campaigns, that sort of stuff, you should have more of that campaign related content going out anyway. So that should get pulled through. I think it's actually quite a good thing. I think it will make the Google My Business profile look more interesting. I think potentially it might also help how it performs. So local businesses, definitely make sure you go and do this, make it a priority. It is rolling out, so you should be able to go and attach your social media profiles now anyway. But the point at which they start appearing, I'm not quite sure when that's going to be. Okay, so
he's doing it now.
Balls on it, brilliant. So yeah, like I said, it like before you just got like little icons at the bottom, so it was like you click there for Facebook, click there for LinkedIn. So it's putting more juice into your Google My Business profile, basically.
I like it.
Cool. So the other Google related thing is kind of it's more about how search works.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of no news.
Okay.
But it's a useful reminder.
Okay.
So a couple of articles came out, and it's basically like Google announces new core algorithm update. So just so we're clear, like every day, Google's making loads of changes to the core algorithm. But some of them, many of them, in fact, are so teeny tiny, and it's testing and rolling back and testing and rolling back. But when they get to a point, it's like, actually, this is quite a big update. That's when we hear about. We don't hear about all the little things that happen along the way. We hear about these bigger plays, if you like.
Yeah.
This update, so obviously the headlines, I was like, oh my God, what's happened now in search? What do we need to do differently? Let's go and look at our SEO, update the blogs, blah, blah, blah. And when I read it, I was kind of like, oh, that's basically repeating what we've heard before.
Yeah.
So essentially, this new update now, it's looking to downrank pages that are not useful. Downrank pages that are repeats of other pages. So that basically, this update means the pages on your website that are offering new, fresh information, individual insights, they're going to rank higher. If I wrote an article that was, this is what everyone's saying about whether or not TikTok will get banned in the US, and what I'm doing in that article is basically taking pieces from everything that I write, it's just going to be a repeat of what people can find on other web pages.
Right, okay.
Therefore, that would get downranked in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? So you might read about this and think, okay, what they're saying is don't copy and paste from other places. What I'm saying is, like, if what you're sharing is actually someone else's opinion, it's going to get downvoted.
Yeah.
So, what we already know is that we should be writing articles, contributing on our websites with fresh content, useful content, thought leadership content, is just doubling down on that. It really, really is. There are, if I think like back in the day when it comes to SEO, and unfortunately there's a lot of companies that still do this, like they might have a specific page on the site and it's for one market. So they might have like social media management services in Daventry would be one page, and then they'd make a duplicate of it, exactly the same, but they change all the keywords. So instead of it saying Daventry, it'd be Northampton.
Yeah.
And then there might be a Peterborough one and a Birmingham one and a, you know, and they'd have like 50 million pages, which were all exactly the same, other than from an SEO perspective, it would be that one thing that was different throughout the page.
Yeah.
Like pages like that, downvote now.
Can I just say I'm loving the
Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, like I said, that's the update. So if you've got on your website, if you've got lots of pages that are essentially saying the same thing, but they have been built around specific keywords, specific key phrases for the purpose of search, they're probably not going to do that well going forward once this completely rolls up, once this is completely rolled out. Changes like this, when they happen, it can take 6 to 12 months for you to notice the impact.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like, be aware of it and act now. Maybe look at those pages that you know are duplicates. That's all right. How can we make them more unique, more individual?
Yeah.
And work that way with them. It is, yeah, basically it's like they don't want to, Google don't want to serve low quality pages, low quality results. So what they're doing is trying to create a situation where nobody wants to have that stuff.
Yeah.
So it is down to the content. It's also down to user experience. So actually, when you're on that page, how are people navigating that page is also a really big part of this, which again is old news. That's not, it's not new.
It's almost like a back to basics.
Yeah, you know, and so it is a,
maybe it's just Google's way of reminding us to do a bit of house cleaning.
well, the other element in this as well is that it's also a bit of a, I want to say fight. There's also a bit of it in this, in them taking a stand against AI written pages. Okay?
Yeah.
Now they are not saying that you can't use AI to write a page. They're not saying we're going to downvote your page if you've used AI to write it. However, these changes are more likely to affect pages that have been written in AI, because you've probably put into ChatGPT, whatever, write me the copy for a page that is, how can small businesses in Northamptonshire use social media to generate leads in their business?
Yeah.
Right. And now it's written some copy on that, and it's going to be so heavily SEO'd that the value of that content, it to a human rather than to the Google bots, is not going to be as fantastic. It's going to be so highly matched in terms of those key phrases that actually it's going to end up being affected by this update.
It's like you're trying too hard. Like, we know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Give us, got it.
Now, Google are expecting this to impact by reducing the content in search, reducing low quality content in search results by about 40%.
Bloody hell.
So that's quite a lot.
That
is, so like the spammy crappy sites, like they're just, they're gone. Yeah, it's like, you know, and you know, end story here. But like I said, this isn't attacking people that are using AI to write pages. It's not attacking AI written pages. It's attacking low quality, over optimized pages and that will affect some, that will affect those that have been written by AI to a certain extent. You've written it by AI, and then you've done a ton of stuff to personalize it, improve the quality, add your two penneth to it, add your insight, all that kind of thing. Those pages will be fine because they will have value.
Yeah.
And the last major update I remember us talking about on here was essentially what I call human SEO update. This is essentially doubling down on that and just saying we're going to get rid of even more of the over-optimized, useless crap, which is a good thing from a user perspective. But like I said, people that have been taking the quick and dirty route, let's say, they're going to feel it. And people still using that like outdated SEO tactics, like let's have 153 pages for the 153 towns in the area of the country we want to target, they're going to struggle.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not particularly positive note to end on, but there you go.
And that's it?
That's it for this week. Yeah, like I said, there's quite a lot this week. There are a few things that I just sort of went, yeah.
But it's been very slow, hasn't it? So it's nice to have.
The last few weeks have been really slow. I'd say the last week and a half, things have like jumped up again. Like I've got a bunch of stuff to read that is more about the business of being in marketing rather than actually how does social media help your business.
Yeah,
it's like shifts in roles in content creators and how strategists become content creators and things like that. There's the new information about ideal image sizes, so I want to test some of those and update the download that we've got the image guide cheat sheet, but we need to test it all first. So there's like the last week and a half there's actually been quite a lot. When we jumped on to Green Room, Kim was like, "Where have you been this morning?" Like, I've been in my emails reading. Like, I've been in the news feeds reading because, like I said, the last few days I've not had much of a chance. Which is probably why I was able to tell you who the American president was right now.
Proud
otherwise I'd have been in panic mode and not be able to tell you.
Well, we'll see if you still know it after Rec Expo.
Yeah, probably not. Well, it depends.
You'll probably all be dead.
Yeah, probably. Cool. All right. Well, that's us for another week. So next week it will be post Rec Expo. I won't be here, so it will just be Kim and Nicole on that. I'm out doing some work I'll be working on the business. So some interesting things going on, which I'll tell Kim all about in a minute after we've finished the live.
Well, let me plug my laptop in because it's about to die.
Oh, is it? Have an amazing week, everyone. And Kim's off camera now. We will see you next Thursday at 12. Bye for now.